What's going on, everybody? This is Renegade #1, aka the Feminist Killer, #Logitorian. Accept your unattractiveness. That's a hard pill for a lot of us to swallow because a lot of us view ourselves as attractive. Your opinion does not matter. Of course, you're going to look at yourself as a 10 out of 10 guy, but that's not the reality, and you know it. The reality is, if you are complaining that you're not getting any attention, if you're complaining that women are not giving you, fair chances or fair shots, that's probably because you're not that attractive, right? Your nose is too big. Your lips are too big. Your jawline's not right. You have to come to that conclusion that you have to accept the fact that you're just ugly, right? Accept your imperfections and wear them with pride. Like, there's guys that genuinely don't believe that they're ugly, and clearly they're ugly. You don't want to be that guy. You don't want to be that guy that doesn't know that he's ugly. Be aware of your looks. Don't lie to yourself. The more you lie to yourself, the more you avoid the brutal, honest truth, the more you're going to continuously live you're going to be on a long journey of not knowing. You're going to be, if you willingly choose to be ignorant about how you look, you're always going to be dealing with suffering, right? The reality is, a lot of us shouldn't have been born. Because the thing is, good genetics should be reproducing with other good genetics. The fact of the matter is, you're here because both of your parents were probably ugly as fuck. Both of your parents decided to reproduce, not caring about the offspring that has to deal with the suffering in the long run. So you being that male who's unattractive, who can't deal with that, it's part of that is your parents' fault. They shouldn't have reproduced. You have bad genetics because your parents have bad genetics. You understand? So my thing is, now that you're here and you've been here for however long whatever your age is, you have to find a way to find a meaning out of your suffering. My thing is, if you continuously perceive suffering as just, oh, I can't do this, nothing's ever going to change, which it won't, you're always going to be, sitting in this ideology of depression. You're always going to be stuck. And the thing is, you have to find the meaning of suffering. Find what suffering really means. Change your perception of it. The thing is, if tragedy makes you stronger, right? When you wear your imperfections, you're no longer embarrassed anymore. My thing is, yes, you can get plastic surgery, but that's not the real you. Beauty is natural. I'm just going to call it out as, yes, you can pay $10,000 to get the perfect surgery to make you look like a Prince Charming or a Barbie doll or whatever you want it to look like. But that's not the real you. Don't go through all that investment just to get someone to say, oh, you're cute. Because guess what? Even when you get called attractive by women, it's still not going to be enough. You're always going to be chasing drugs. You're always going to be chasing highs. Just go ahead and sit back and accept life for what it is. Once you can accept disappointment and look forward to disappointment, when it actually happens, you won't get upset. You're immune to it. And so, like I said, the reality is, if you are a incel, like most guys put it, you're not supposed to be here. You were a mistake. You were a mistake. I don't want to hear nobody tell you any bullshit advice or give you any bullshit answers about, oh, no, we were all gifts from God. You know, they'll tell you a lot of them will tell you that. You know, oh, you're a gift from God. You're supposed to be here. Oh, there's beauty in everybody. That's the blue pill answer. That's the patronizing answer. That's the feel-good advice that everybody wants to give you. You know, oh, you have a chance. All you got to do is work out. At the end of the day, if you have a fucked up face, you're screwed. You cannot create, I'll say this, you cannot modify attractiveness. You can't make somebody like you. You can't focus on the fact that you're not attractive. There's nothing that's gonna help you. Nothing. So once you can accept the fact that highs are not gonna work, then you'll be at peace. Find a new perception of suffering. That's all you need to do. Find a new perception of suffering. You understand? Otherwise, you're always going to be living in depression. I understand that I'm not that attractive. I understand, I've understood that from an earlier age. If you look back on your life, you pretty much know where you are in the looks category. You can't change that. There's people that still believe that they can change that. You can't. There's nothing you can do. And my thing is, I recommend you read this book. It's called Making Sense of Suffering by Peter Kreeft, or whatever his name is. It's very important for us to realize that the more you continuously avoid the truth, the more you're gonna continue to live in delusion. You know, some people are, you know, probably delusional because, you know, it's too much to handle. It's really not hard, man. Don't continue to be oblivious on purpose. I think a lot of you guys choose to be that way. Like, you're not attractive. It's okay. It's not the end of it's not the end of the world. You know, if you look at if I was watching an old episode of SpongeBob, and you remember the episode where he was like, I'm ugly and I'm proud. He walked around with a bag over his fucking head because he was ashamed. Don't live life in shame because you're unattractive. Embrace it. You know, a lot of people think it's corny, but the reality is, when you have no shame towards criticism, you are mentally free. You're mentally tough. Use tragedy as a fuel to carry you on in the future. The more you're exposed to trauma, the more you'll be tougher in the future. The more you will know how to deal with these situations. But don't continue to patronize yourself with false lies, saying, oh, I don't think I'm that ugly. I'm not ugly. I'm attractive. You know, these females just don't see it. You know, in a few months, I'm going to get this surgery and I'm going to be on point. See, you still in denial. You so desperate to get that validation. You still hanging on some surgeries. You're hanging on filters. You're hanging on money to get you through these things. You can't run away from suffering. Suffering is inescapable. It's inevitable. You have to embrace it. It's part of your life. It's gonna be here forever until you die. So the more you run, the more you cause more pain to yourself. A lot of you think, you know, I may be spreading a negative message, but the reality is, those people who are giving you the feel-good advice, those people who are telling you you're not ugly when they know you're fucking ugly, those are the people that are fucking you up. Those are the people who are hurting you in the end because they're lying to you. I'm telling you the truth. You know, I'm not saying that I'm gonna make you feel good. You know, you determine how you receive the message. You know, how do you handle being ugly? You can choose to be in a fetal position and cry about it, or you can choose to stand on your feet, walk with your head held high, and be like, okay, this is how I am. I'm not that attractive. So what? Who cares? It's the mindset. If you have a defeated mindset, then you're going to live a defeated life. Stop talking about what you can't do. Stop talking about what you don't have. It's the facts of life, man. And that's pretty much it, man. But anyway, this is Renegade #1. Like the video, share, subscribe, peace.